It's the final competition weekend at West Point, and it's headlined by a big game at Michie Stadium as the Army men's lacrosse team takes on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Black Knights coming in after a loss in the Patriot League championship game to Loyola, but a win against Notre Dame this weekend could still put the Black Knights into the NCAA tournament with an at-large bid, as the Black Knights would then have wins over Syracuse and Notre Dame on their resume.
Well, they're each and every year, Coach Corrigan and his staff are going to put out some great athletes that play really well in their systems, they've got very good systems in which they operate, and they recruit to those, and you can see why every single year they're a Final Four national champion type threat, and a lot of times they're just in it. He's done a remarkable job in building his program over the years. Looking at this year's edition, there's some new faces. They're very strong defensively, very good in the goal. Doss has been playing for them for a long time. Both of those situations are very good. They're tremendous in the unsettled game too. So Finley at the face-off acts, creating some scrums along with some of their DMs. Personnel just creating some offensive stuff, and then you flip them to the offensive end, and it's really interesting as you watch them over the last 4 or 5 games. They've just gone with some different pairings in the midfield, and some middies playing in attack spots, and attackmen playing up in the midfield. They've done a really good job to diversifying themselves there. So just a team that you look at and you say, wow, there's no real weakness to exploit here, and I think that's why once again they've been so successful.
The Army baseball team, after clinching a spot in the Patriot League tournament last weekend with a split at Lehigh, will host the Hartford Hawks in their final regular season series this weekend, scheduled for 2 games at home on Saturday, then 1 on the road on Sunday. Black Knights looking to build some momentum out of this series heading into the Patriot League tournament next weekend, where they'll take on the Crusaders of Holy Cross.
I want them to really just settle in and play loose and relaxed, but with intensity. And, not get in their own way. We've had a tendency to get in our own way a little bit during the season, and now's the time of year where you free all that up and you just let it go, and you go out there and you play ball. We've been out here enough. We've spent a lot of time together, and, you just want to finish strong. So that's what we're hoping for, and I think they got it in them. They got a lot going on, but they love baseball, and for them to bounce back today showed me a lot.
It's the track and field championships this weekend down at Lehigh University, as both the men's and the women's side are hoping for good results. Both teams are coming off strong performances during the indoor season, especially the men, who finished second, and are going to look to use that as well as a lot of young talent to propel them to good finishes in the Patriot League championships in the spring season.
So coming off of indoor, where we were second on the men and 5th on the women, we felt like we needed to take a long-range approach to how we were going to get to the end point. So, and this is what makes the most sense from a training perspective. We did a lot of preparation work in late February and early March so that we would be ready to click as we went through the championship season. And we struggled out of the gates, but then things started to click, and now I think we're starting to see that our performances are reaching the peak level across the board. So that would tell you that we're ready to perform. Now we need to go to the meet and focus on the competition element and see where that places us. And I think we can do pretty well, particularly on the men's side, if we compete to the level that we've trained, and if we get everybody qualified to the finals and doing what we think they can do in preliminaries, then I think we'll be fine.
Softball team is off this weekend. They've already clinched a spot in the Patriot League Championship Series. That will be the weekend of the Patriot League baseball semifinals as well in a few weeks' time. That's going to do it for your weekend preview. For Night Vision, I'm Zack Daly.